I had to make this video at work because I just went through a bunch of comments in reference to my 2008 GS350 Lexus having 300,000 miles. And I read the comments, and a lot of people are amazed that it reached 300,000, and they say it looks good for 300,000. But let me tell you, when I call that my daily, I really mean daily, and as far as driving it hard. I drove it to Maryland. I drove it to Pennsylvania. I drove it to Pittsburgh. I drove it to Philly. I drove it to New Jersey. And I drive back and forth. From Queens, Long Island, to the Bronx where I work. So I'm constantly driving this car hard. Now, driving this car as much as I do, a lot has failed on the car. Like I said, I replaced the Cadillac converters, right? And I had to replace them twice, which is wild. I don't know what happened, but I replaced them twice. So the first Cadillac converters that I replaced them with original Lexus parts. I replaced them with original Lexus parts, and those parts failed. It rusted out, and holes started to form, and air was getting in. So when I brought it to Midas, the guy actually put the car on the lift and showed me, and it was wild. I was like, wow. So those parts failed within maybe 4 years. I want to say like 4 years, those parts fail, like around 4 years, 3 or 4 years. And then I went to Midas, and Midas replaced the Cadillac converter. Of course, they were aftermarkets, but with Midas, you get a lifetime warranty. So in 4 years, if they fail like the Lexus Cadillac converters fail, I get them replaced for free. And I didn't even spend. Okay, when I got the Lexus Cadillac converters, each one cost me $1,500. Not even labor to install them, but each one from Lexus cost me $1,500, right? And there's two. So that's that. Midas for $610 or something like that. I got them paid for and installed, complete, boom, out the door, 600 some change, with a lifetime warranty. As long as I have the receipt, as long as I don't lose the receipt, I think they put me in their computer system anyway. But I'm holding on to that receipt for dear life. I mean, with a car with 300,000 miles, I don't know how long it's gonna last or whatever. But for the life of that car, I got Cadillac converters that if they fail, I get them replaced for free. Now, my radiator on the '08 had to be replaced, I think, 3 times. Yeah, the radiator had to be replaced 3 times. So what else failed on the car? The what do you call that? Damn, my brain is not working right now. But it's it has to do with the battery, and it gives power to the battery or whatever. That failed. That failed like 2 or 3 times. I can't believe I can't remember the name of that part. That's wild. But alternator. Damn, my brain is not working. It's almost time for me to leave anyway. My shift is almost over. But the alternator failed like 3 times. So 3 times with the radiator, 3 times with the alternator, twice with the Cadillac converters. What else failed that? I'm trying to think. That's wild. I think something else failed on the car. But those things stick out because those were costly, and yeah, I had to get the car towed behind the alternator going out, and the Cadillac converter. The water pump. oh my goodness, the water pump failed. And my mechanic at the time did not recognize it because I refused to go to Lexus for anything that my mechanic couldn't handle. If my mechanic could handle it, I was going to him, saving me a lot of dough. So my mechanic, for whatever reason, couldn't figure out the water pump. So the water pump had to be replaced and we good to go. So that's basically how that went. But yeah, I drive that car like right now. I'm not even in fear of being stranded on a highway because I give it regular maintenance. I do my own oil changes. The oil changes, they say do it every 5,000 miles. I always do it like 3,500 miles or whatever. I do my own oil change, and I got something in the mail the other day, and I think in one of my other videos I showed it. They want $149 for an oil change. So it went up from $129 to $149, and that's not even including tax. So we're talking like $150 plus for an oil change. And I'm telling you, I suggest anybody who have a Lexus, period, the oil plug and the filter, they are both in the same place on all makes and models. Let me tell you, my '08, right? I got underneath it, and when I got the 2020, I got underneath it. It's in the same exact location. With the 2020, I just have to take off the skid plate or whatever. Boom, and it's still in the same place. It's just that the skid plate, I have to take down the skid plate, whatever. So my oil change, it's like I buy my own oil. I go to Walmart. It's like $28 for one bottle. You know, the big 20-ounce joint. It holds 5 liters, and then you buy a liter that makes it 6. That tops off the engine. Well, not the engine, but it basically brings it up to level. And boom, you out the door. You do your own oil change on a nice sunny day, and you save yourself $100 plus. So I don't know anybody would go. I don't know why anybody would go to Lexus for an oil change, because if you see how easy it is, you'll be kicking yourself all those times you went to Lexus to get an oil change, being knocked over the head with $160 and all of that, when exactly what you could do for yourself, Lexus do for you, but yet you walking out of there with less money in your pocket. Doesn't make sense to me. So I look forward to doing my oil changes because I know I'm going to do it right. And I know that once I get my oil change done, I know that it has the oil that it's supposed to have. And I'm happy about, that accomplishment that I did to my own vehicle, which is super, it feels so good. But yeah, I had to make this video because I read the comments and I responded to a lot of people. And yes, 300,000 on my '08, because again, I go to Baltimore, I go to Philly, I go to PA, I go to New Jersey. I'm all over the place, and back and forth from Long Island to the Bronx just to go to work to get money from my job. Right there, I'm putting on miles. And again, when I turn on the car, the engine's not shaking, the car is not rattling and all that other stuff. That's why I feel so confident that, this car is going to go a long, long way. I do the maintenance, spark plugs, any sound that I hear coming from the engine, I run it to my mechanic. Boom, take a look at this. And I handle it, because the longer you let a problem sit, the more money it's going to cost you. So, and the beauty of having 2 cars, when that car is in the shop, I'm riding the other car. So, it works out. So when I was going to go pick up the 2020 and they wanted to give me only they really wanted to give me $2,500 for the '08. I thought about it and I was like, man, I might as well just hold on to this '08 and just pay down on the 2020 and keep it, because again, what the car is worth to me is way more than what I can get for it. So it only made sense for me to keep the '08, and I'm glad I did because the rims were falling apart. I don't know if you've seen it in the other video, but they started peeling. So they was looking trash. So when I had when I popped the tires on the 2020 and I brought it to the rim spot, they basically said, since you're giving us 2 cars, we'll give you a deal on the second car. So for $550, I got the rims powder coated, the glossy black, and it feels like I just bought another set of rims, because what they did was they straightened out the rims, they straightened them out, powder coated them, and they like a real nice glossy black, and it changes the look of the car. It feels so much new, so much nicer, and I'm glad I did it. I am so glad I did it. So it's like, I think, well, what I was going to do is I'm going to do before and after pictures and all that, but I think I saw it already. But yeah, I am so happy that I powder coated the rims, and the rims are nice and straight and balanced, and everything is smooth with these rims now. So I'm happy. But yeah, tell me what you think. Yes, sir. Tell me what you think. If you want to comment on this video about the 300,000 miles and the amount of repairs that the car has been through since me having it, feel free. I'll respond and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not saying that everybody that drives it to 300,000 miles is going to have the same issues. I just know that for me, the radiator been replaced, the Cadillac's been replaced, alternator's been replaced, the water pump's been replaced, and I stay with the regular maintenance and oil changes myself and all that. But I just think those are parts that, wear and tear, they have to be replaced at some point. So, but yeah. Oh, also too, the seats are disintegrating. So I don't know what chemicals that was used on the leather. Maybe that had something to do with it. But they started falling apart. I mean, like I would sit on it and it would rip and stuff like that. So what I did was I got these covers, these seat covers. First, I went to an upholstery shop, and they wanted to charge me $1,500 and this, that, and the third, or whatever. And me being the frugal guy that I am, I looked online, and there was a company that basically had the seat covers, and they look plush, they look cool and everything. And I only paid like $100 and some change for them, like $138, shipped to the house. Dropped them in the car, boom, and whatever rips are happening underneath the covers, I don't know, but I don't see them. And basically, out of sight, out of mind. You don't see it, you don't think about it, it doesn't bother you, and that's how I feel about the seat covers. But yeah, comment on the video. Let me know what you think. What I could do is anybody who's in the New York area, I could tell you about the rim spot that I got my rims repaired at. Those guys, I mean, the turnaround was quick. I didn't have to leave my car there for 4 days, 3 days or whatever. Got it back the next day. What else? I think the price is fair for what they did. The shape that my rims were in with the 2020, they were bent. They were bent, they were scratched up, curb rash, and all this other craziness, and they restored it to its original. When I say original, there's like ridges in the spokes of the rim. They brought that back. They didn't leave anything behind. They restored it. And then the 08, they gave me a deal on it for $550. They did all 4, painted them up, straightened them out, balanced them, mounted them back on the car, and I was out the door. So yeah, comment. If you need addresses on the Meineke, the rim spot, let me know and I'll put you on. So thank you, sir. But see you when I see you.